Welcome back, everyone. So, did you notice this potential issue when you were watching Avatar? Some people saw the movie and commented that they felt the movie tried to approach the struggle of indigenous peoples, but in a sort of fantasy reality way. So in its representation or way of dealing with the struggle of indigenous people, did it really engage with the issues properly? Did it respect the issues of real indigenous people properly? And did it show them indigenous peoples in a positive light? Some people said no. They found that the natives in this fantasy land were a little bit too helpless, that they found themselves in a situation that they could not solve themselves, and they were appealing to outsiders for help. They were looking for a savior. And I think this is definitely a controversial angle to take because I think many European nations have styled themselves as saviors to other nations that they have kind of colonized or conquered with the message, we're doing it for your own good, which of course wasn't really for their own good at all. It was for the good of the European nations in question. So I can see how this perhaps could be seen as offensive by indigenous peoples who have suffered from people with a white savior complex. What's your reaction to this critique of the movie? Did you feel like it was promoting foreign saviors, come rescue me in the movie?
I mean, you can definitely see those tropes. There's definitely an outsider who is the savior of that world, or at least trying to be. And so I can see how that theme can easily be transposed onto the other theme, the other trope of, the white savior coming in to help the indigenous people, falling in love with one of the indigenous women and, becoming the savior. I mean, there's no other better word, just the hero of the whole story. And that, absolves the outsider of guilt, but it also, diminishes the indigenous people to a weak status. So yeah, like it's a fair critique, and I can see how it could easily be done that. Because this is Avatar. This is a movie that's supposed to be action. It's not supposed to be super complex. At least if it were supposed to be complex, Cameron missed the mark like by a billion miles. It's supposed to be just very simple, and I think when you have simple, you get into tropes too easily. You're going to offend someone with the simplicity these days. And so, yeah, it's I can understand it, and I can understand the other side of like, these are just blue, this is an alien planet, blue people, and this is just a story of someone who helped save them.
Yeah, it's a sort of fantasy fairy tale.
Now, I did hear that James Cameron did get this like inspiration. I think it said a little bit in the article, this inspiration from viewing indigenous people troubles. So I think because of that, there's an even more strong connection that could be seen as a little bit offensive as well.
I see. James Cameron is American, right?
Yes.
So when he was viewing indigenous people, do you think he was referring to Native Americans?
Man, I did not look at who it was that he was viewing. But
he might not have said.
I would assume if it's not North American indigenous people, it would be South American. Just a guess, though.
I see, yes. Do you feel like he had a message, though, with the movie? What kind of themes do you think Avatar was supposed to be about?
To me, the first one was obviously environmentalism. Like, we have to take care of the environment. We can't just do this. And there was some of that in the second one. But really, in the second one, what it felt like to me was, this is an action movie, and we need a story to make it go along. That's how simple it felt to me. It was like, okay, we have all this action, got a bunch of fish jumping out of the water, bunch of explosions. Now, what story can we put here? That's what it felt like. All the story was just like, only there to make the next action scene.
I see.
Yeah. So I don't think there's big message being conveyed. I think it was, give me money.
Well, a movie doesn't necessarily have to have a message, I think. Yes. Maybe better have no message than the wrong message.
Maybe Cameron can kind of think about that one for his third movie. Maybe he can think, hey, how can I create a hero which is not the white savior. Create a hero which, comes from the people or whatever. I don't know. I'm not Cameron. Well, it looks like the next hero is also going to be half white.
I see. Well, James, if you're watching, take note. We said it first. No, we didn't. It was in the article.
Yeah. We spoke it on this video first.
We said it on this video.
To each other.
Okay, so before someone takes up arms against us, let's go and take a look at the vocabulary, try and learn some of it, and use it in our real conversations. See you in the next one.
Take up arms.
Take up arms.
Trope.
Trope.
Absolve.
Absolve.
Monolith.
Monolith.
Inner struggle.
Inner struggle.